The ScaleNorth Month-End Close Accelerator is a NetSuite-based web app that helps accounting and finance teams manage the entire close process in one place. It allows teams to assign tasks, track progress, reconcile accounts, log time, and maintain a complete record of activity. Before we dive into the features, here's a quick overview of how the app is structured. It's organized around 6 core concepts. First, close processes. These are your top-level containers. Each close process represents a full close cycle where all tasks, notes, and files are organized. Second, close tasks. These are the individual units of work within a process. Each task has an assignee, due date, and status, and can be organized into subtasks for more complex workflows. Third, time entries. It's a built-in timer that lets your team track how long they spend on each task. Fourth, notes. These are threaded, rich text comments attached to tasks, where you can mention teammates, reply, and add screenshots. Fifth, files. These are documents or links attached to tasks, stored in NetSuite's file cabinet. And sixth, events. This is an automatic audit trail that records every meaningful change in the system. Now that we've covered the foundation, let's take a look at the first thing you'll see when you open the app, the dashboard. When you open the ScaleNorth Month-End Close Accelerator, you land on the dashboard, your control center where everything you need is visible at a glance. At the top, you'll see 4 KPI cards: tasks complete, open tasks, pending review, and overdue tasks. Each shows a main count plus a reconciliation-specific metric. You can click any card to jump straight to a filtered view of those tasks. In the center is the Active Processes panel, showing all ongoing close processes with progress bars by status. You can click into a process to focus the KPIs or keep it on all processes for an overall view. At the top, the Mine, My Team, and All toggle controls the scope of what you see. It filters the dashboard based on your selection and remembers your preference. In the lower section, Tasks this week highlights current tasks with color coding for urgency, while Recent Events shows a live activity feed. On the right, My Open Tasks and My Notes are always personal. My Notes surfaces mentions and replies, so you can quickly see where your attention is needed. Now let's talk about how to create and manage a close process. On the Processes page, you'll see all active close cycles. To create a new one, click New Process. Note that there are 3 options. First, Standalone. This creates a blank process with no tasks, ideal if you want to build everything manually. Second, from Template. This option uses a guided 5-step wizard to automate the setup, from selecting a template and scheduling tasks to assigning roles, defining process details, and reviewing everything before creation. This option does most of the heavy lifting for you. Third, Roll Forward. This copies an existing process and updates it for a new period, the fastest option for recurring closes. It walks through process details, assignments, scheduling, rule review, and final confirmation, and only updates what you change. Now that we've covered process creation, let's move to where most of the day-to-day work happens, the Tasks page. This is your main workspace where all close activities are managed. You can view tasks in 4 layouts: Flat List for simple filtering, Tree List for task hierarchy, Kanban board for drag and drop status updates, and Calendar for date-based scheduling with detailed or compact views. There's also a filter for all, tasks, or recs. In recs mode, you'll see reconciliation-specific columns like GL balance, reconciled amount, and differences. To create a task, enter the name and process, then set details like status, category, priority, due date, and assignments. Note that preparer and reviewer must be different people. Tasks can include subtasks, expected hours, descriptions, and rich instructions. For reconciliation tasks, additional fields like account and period appear. On the task detail page, you'll see the tasks hierarchy, key details, and a status timeline that tracks time spent in each stage. Now let's move on to time tracking. There are 2 similar-looking icons in the app, and they serve different purposes. The nav bar timer is the built-in time entry system used to log hours against tasks. It stays active even when you switch pages, close your browser, or restart your device. The time link icon on tasks, on the other hand, simply opens an external time tracking system and does not create any entries in the app. To start tracking time, click the timer icon, select a task, and the timer begins immediately. You'll see the elapsed time running in the toolbar. When you're done, click the timer again to open the controls, optionally add a memo, then stop the timer. You can review and adjust the start and end times before the entry is saved. All time entries can be viewed on the time page, which includes 3 views: a list of individual entries, a daily breakdown of hours by task, and a summary view that compares expected versus actual time with variance. Next, let's move on to notes. Notes are where your team collaborates directly inside the ScaleNorth month-end close accelerator. To create a note, select the related task and use the rich text editor. You can format text, add tables, lists, links, and even paste screenshots directly from your clipboard. You can mention teammates using @, which automatically adds them to the notes-related employees list and surfaces the note in their My Notes panel as long as it's in a non-closed status. All notes are visible to users with access to the application, and they cannot be deleted, only edited by the original author, ensuring a complete and reliable record. Now let's look at files. Files let you attach supporting documents, work papers, or reference materials directly to tasks. To add a file, click New File, select the related task, choose a file type, and add a description. You can then drag and drop a file or browse to upload it, with support for files up to 10 MB. External links can be added in the same flow if needed. After upload, file details can be edited by hovering over the description in the grid and selecting Edit, which is only available to the file owner. Next, let's look at the Events Audit Trail. The Events page is your complete audit trail capturing every change in real time, including status updates, assignments, schedule changes, reconciliation updates, and note changes. Each entry shows a timestamp, the user who made the change, the related process and task, the event type, and the old and new values, with color-coded indicators for status changes for easy scanning. You can filter by process, task, user, event type, and date range, and use prefix search for more precise results. Next, let's look at the team directory. The team page is a read-only directory of your entire close team, organized into 3 sections. Teams, which show group cards with member counts and avatars. Roles, which map ScaleNorth month-end, close accelerator roles, to assigned employees. And directory, which lists individual employee cards with contact and role details. A global search bar lets you filter across all sections by name, email, role, or team, making it easy to find users or verify role assignments when setting up templates. Next, let's move on to delegations. Delegations solve the problem of covering work when someone is out of office without changing task assignments manually. Instead of updating tasks one by one, you create a delegation at the person level, such as assigning Bob to cover for Alice, and the system automatically applies this across all relevant tasks. Active delegations appear on tasks with a swap icon and tooltip showing the coverage relationship. Original assignments are never changed, and delegations act only as an overlay that can be turned off to restore normal assignments. Now let's talk about account coverage and reconciliation. It provides a summary of 3 categories: gaps for accounts missing reconciliation tasks, covered for those already assigned, and excluded for accounts intentionally left out. For any gap, you can click the Add button to instantly create a pre-filled reconciliation task with the correct account and subsidiary. If an account should not be reconciled, you can mark it as excluded and define the scope, either for a single process, a template, and future roll forwards, or system-wide. Next, let's look at search and filtering. Every list page in this accelerator includes a search bar with advanced prefix syntax. On the Tasks page, you can filter using commands like status, in progress, assign Smith, active me, or priority high, and combine multiple filters for more precise results. The ScaleNorth month-end close accelerator gives a high-level view of progress with processes defining each close cycle and tasks managing daily work. To learn more about the month-end close accelerator and the rest of the ScaleNorth platform, contact ScaleNorth today.